This variety is known as Winston, but when it was originally raised it was called Winter King. It was renamed Winston after the British WW2 leader Winston Churchill. Now, we're not so unpatriotic particularly, and have no disrespect for the late Sir Winston Churchill, but we preferred the name Winter King. The name indicates that the apple is a very long keeping apple, and we have found this to be the case. It has a fault. Most good apples have at least one fault, but it's not a very bad fault. It produces too many fruitlets. In the spring, this will produce very large numbers of fruits. Unfortunately, we're going to pick these today. I don't know if you can see that there's a hole in there. A bird has pecked a hole in there. We'll be picking these today. But it produces too many fruitlets, and you really have got to thin it very hard. Each fruit bud will often set as many as 5 or 6 fruitlets, and you've got to cut most of them out, otherwise you will have very large numbers of extremely small fruits, and you don't want that. So you need to thin them out by hand, and this is probably one reason why this apple hasn't been grown commercially for a long time, because thinning the apples out involves human labour, which costs money, and they're always trying to screw another half a percentage point off the cost to stay in business against the cruel international globalised apple commodity trade. But anyhow, this is a good backyard apple. It's a very long keeper, really crisp and crunchy. I know a lot of people really think that crunch is the most important value in an apple, regardless of flavour. That is a very crunchy, very sharp apple. It's got a good flavour. If you like Brabant and Granny Smith, you will like this. I would say it's got a slightly better flavour. But in a late keeping, hard, crunchy apple which will keep well past Christmas. So Winter King is a good choice if you've got 5 apple trees, or you're planting 5 apple trees in your garden. You will want one of them to be a very late keeper. Winter King, which if you want to buy it, you'll have to ask for Winston, because that's the current name, Winston. A good choice, a good sound choice. Our customers like this. Final comment on this variety is that we originally planted 5 trees of this in our orchard, but the customers liked it so much that we planted another 33. It's a very good apple, Winter King, otherwise known as Winston.